What's good, sports gamers, and today I'll be going over with you how to play on-ball defense in NBA 2K19. So when you play on-ball for those 5 to 10 plays a game, you won't embarrass yourself. So let's get it. First things first, when you're defending a ball handler one-on-one, you want to make sure you're consistently in a proper defensive stance. Meaning don't defend the ball handler with simply the left stick, because when you do, your change of direction isn't as sharp. And depending on if the ball handler is moving, you will find yourself extremely vulnerable to sudden stops or step backs by him as you fly on by, still reacting to the initial drive. So instead of having that happen every time, you want to hold the left trigger on your controller to get your defender into a low defensive stance. So when you move side to side, you will notice the player will always remain forward, so no matter what the ball handler does, since your back will always be to the basket, you will be in a better position to defend against the counter moves like step backs and quick stops after their drive. Now when you're in your defensive stance, you also have to make sure you're maintaining consistent depth with the ball handler. So what I mean by that is if they move left or right, while holding the left trigger, you also move left or right to match them. But if they're coming straight at you, do not back up, hold your ground. A mistake I still make sometimes, I see a lot of others do as well, is they give the ball handler his initial space, but then back up even more at the subtlest of movements, basically giving him an easier path to the basket and obviously opens them up to allowing jumpers and step back moves even with you holding the left trigger. So instead of reacting to every move, look at yourself as a wall that they must get past. Now obviously the ball handler just doesn't go left or right and they're done. Their goal is to get you off balance so they can get past you. So you must be aware of crossovers, spins, or behind the backs. If you notice them doing one of these, this is when you do want to back off the defender and protect against that change of direction the other way. Then once you do that, realign yourself with them to neutralize the move. Because maintaining the use of sliding left or right against moves like that allows the ball handler to simply blow right by you then. So all you're doing when you see them try to cut back the other way is giving yourself enough space to stop them in their tracks by backing up to meet them in the other direction. Now lastly, let's say you're holding left trigger, you're in your defensive stance, and the ball handler commits to driving, and you're not properly lined up with him, so he's about to blow right by you. That's when it's time to let off the left trigger and turn on the burners, aka the speed boost, to regain that speed you lost by being in a defensive stance, in an effort to cut off the ball handler and block his path to the basket. This is also where knowing angles comes into play. If they're about to blow by you, run to where he's going instead of where he's at to cut him off, or else they will slide on by you towards the hoop. It will take a lot of practice to know the exact moment where you feel they're more committed to driving than faking you out with a counter move before you then commit yourself to leaving a defensive stance and trying to cut them off. Now if you put all of this together, you should have full confidence in yourself when you do click on to guard your opponent one-on-one, that you will be able to force a shot that they didn't want. But with that, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris, thank y'all for watching, and be good y'all.